Well, hello everybody. My name is Ben, and this is Lohit. Welcome back to the Cupcake Collectible channel. And this week this is Thursday again, so we are back talking about new comics we picked up. How you doing, Lohit?
I'm doing good, man. I've been just enjoying the sun. Last days of summer.
Well, I hope it'll last a bit longer. It's gonna be in the 80s again next week, so I can still wear t-shirts and shorts. So good.
There you go. That's the best way to do it. Yeah.
Well, let's get the show off the road. We will first go into Marvel Comics at this time. Well, let me start first. Logie, I know you haven't read this yet, so I won't do too much spoiler for it. It is Alien, Volume 2, Number 1, still written by Philip Johnson Kennedy, right?
Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Philip Kennedy Johnson. Okay, it's a different writer this time. It's a different artist this time. It's
no Salvador Larroca, no Guru EFX.
Instead of Stella Roca. I don't know, a lot of people had problems with Stella Roca, but he's too realistic. Well, you don't have that problem here. This is a very slightly more cartoony looking art, but it's still very good. I thought this was a very solid first issue. It has to deal with the company. They lost control of this planet where they were doing all these research situation. And then for them, they had to send a squad of renegade synthroids from a different to recover a special item. So I won't go too much into it because Lohit wants to read this book and haven't read it yet. But it is a very solid read, and in the tradition of the previous Alien, I think it's actually better. It's the first better issue than the second story with the what do you call it, the religious folks, right? That storyline.
Yeah.
I think it's better than that one. I will definitely read issue 2. Story's good. Art is very solid. One
of those Marvel books which has been pretty consistent and pretty solid for me.
They got a good writer on there. He knows what he's doing. He actually understands the whole alien lore, so he puts everything there, especially the world with humans and synthesoids. Actually, one thing is really cool. It's about the government actually offered full citizenship to synthesoids if they managed to complete this mission. So basically, they talk about how cyborg rights versus human rights are now forced to be the same. So I thought that was a nice touch.
Absolutely, I think he's nailing it. Basically, every issue, like all the 12 issues and the annual. I think this is a super consistent book, and it doesn't feel, it's not too exposition heavy. So it's just story and dialogue and great art. And of course, they've used the alien creature pretty well. It's, whenever the alien pops up, you have the feels that, oh my God, there is an alien here. So I like it. I'll definitely read this for sure.
Yeah, see if you can go to your local comic store and pick up a physical copy.
I will definitely do that.
Yeah, and make sure you get this annual with Travis Sher's cover too. I think it's the best out of the bunch.
I totally agree.
I mean, the cover A is pretty good too, but I think this is the best one of the batch. Anyways,
what's next?
I have Black Panther number 9. It's one of my favorite books out right now. This is written by John Riley, art by Herman Peralta. So this takes place after the Wakandan Civil War, where T'Challa is exiled. Now he's back with Avengers, where they introduce a new character called the Colonist, who is trying to use Earth to graze his breed these alien things that they use as both as soldier and as food. So this character, the Colonist, is very weird looking. He's like a ghost of a fat Joker. Wow. He's got it's a weird design. Then he has all these like elves, light elves looking creatures as his slaves.
Okay.
So of course, the Avengers says no, you can't use our, which leads into the first issue where the Avengers fought these these aliens that's really hard to beat, and where Doctor Strange had to use a portal to teleport them to a different dimension in order to win that battle. But Doctor Strange, of course, he is dead. So there's no Doctor Strange.
Or is he?
Can you believe it? So, but this is Doctor Strange around this time to save the day. So the Avengers has to figure out how to fight him, how to take care of the situation himself. So it's a introduce new two villains, the Economist, and then they introduce a character called the Buffalo Soldier, which is a guy that's look like a hunter riding on this giant buffalo.
Okay.
Apparently, that's one of the he looks like he's one of the colonists' lieutenants.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So is that he's about to fight? Leads into he's about to fight Black Panther in the end. It's a very solid read as always. John really does a good job on Black Panther. I enjoyed this book, and I can't wait for you too. Of course, cover A always feature beautiful art, cover art by Alex Ross, the legendary.
That is the best thing. I think that catches your eye like right there.
Well, I mean, the interior art by Haman Peralta is actually very good too.
I have not heard of his work that much, so probably I don't know. Maybe.
No, I have really what do you call it? I haven't either. But I think the first trade might be out, so if you get a chance to pick that up, you should. Sure. I do recommend the first collection where they deal with the whole Wakanda situation, leads to the Civil War. Introducing the new character Tulsing and stuff like that.
I got the Reginald Hudlin complete collection for Black Panther because I was craving some Black Panther after the trailer drop. So I'm gonna read that, and I also want to read the Ta-Nehisi Coates Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda, that stuff, because I haven't read that. I've read his first arc, but not the second arc. So I want to do it chronologically, and then after that comes your John Ridley's run. So I'll definitely get to it.
All right. So Lohit, what do you got? Did you pick up any Marvel books?
I did. I picked up Ghost Rider.
I also picked up Ghost Rider number 6, written by Benjamin Percy, art by Brent Pepis? Sorry,
people
butchering the name.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that too.
So. All right, we talk about this book, and I'll chime in when we're done.
I think so. Yeah, so this is probably the conclusion seems like a conclusion of the first arc, because Marvel usually does like six issues and one trade, the first trade. So it seems like a good conclusion. So this thing started off with Johnny Blaze having like a demon latched onto his brain. There was a big scar. It was pretty much like a horror comic book. And this thing deals with Wolverine finally coming in and telling Johnny Blaze that, okay, you've got something wrong with you. And probably, he needs to exorcise the demon from him. And how he does it was pretty awesome, because he has like hellfire on his Wolverine claws, and then he rips off the demon from Johnny Blaze's brain, and that's what the whole book is about. So that Johnny Blaze is now, the Ghost Rider is free of this whatever demonic entity possessed him, and they don't tell you what that demonic entity was, but just that it was possessed. It's pretty gooey. It's like an octopus coming out of his brain. It's pretty gory, so it's not for the faint of heart. This is probably one of the Marvel horror titles, I would say.
I think this is the only Marvel horror title.
Only Marvel horror title, to be honest. But it was pretty decent. I liked it. I like the conclusion. Benjamin Percy's Wolverine is not going anywhere, but this one is definitely doing something for me.
Yeah, absolutely. They also have a little side, a side story featuring the FBI agents as to try to track down Ghost Rider. That supposedly leads into like a big supernatural war that's coming between different superpowers that haven't really introduced you, or maybe that we don't know yet. I think that's a really pretty cool part. It's we like me and Lohit both really like this book, and we'll definitely continue buying this book. And Benjamin Percy may not, like Lohit said, may not do a good job on Wolverine nowadays, but certainly he's doing a good job.
It's his fault. I think it's being tied down through all these events. So the Wolverine book doesn't seem to go anywhere because there is another event, either an X-Men event or an Avengers event or a Ghost Rider event or something or the other. So, I mean, Wolverine himself doesn't have any voice or nowhere to go. But that's just my opinion.
Well, also, Wolverine is all these X-Men teams, so what can you really do? You really can't screw up the current canon. He's like, oh, he can't appear on the blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? You still had to put him in a solo adventure that makes sense, too. That's like he's kind of, I get it, Percy a little hamstring because of this whole situation.
Absolutely.
Yep. And then next book, what else you got?
From Marvel, Moonlight.
Yep, that's one book we both get by Lohit's favorite writer, Marvel writer, Chad McKay. Art by Alexander Cappuccino.
Yeah, I think he's been doing.
This is one of the best combination of writer and artist team in Marvel. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, even the colorist is Rachel Rosenberg, and I think she or he does a pretty good job too.
Absolutely, very very good. Another solid issue. I really like the whole concept of the Stephen Grant, John Lockley, and Mark Spector working together as a team, try to take down this vampire nation thing. What do you think?
I liked it. I still, I mean, it's not lost a lot of steam for me. Now he's probably into his like third arc, I would say, out of this whole vampire story. So he's trying to figure out this vampire cult and take it down. And I like the way, like, they utilize all the three personalities. Like
Right.
Jake Lockley is doing his own investigation in like a CD bar, and Stephen
Yep.
Grant is like in a I think in a movie studio or something, and he's figuring out like what's going on here. I need to find
Right.
out more about these bad guys. And Mark Spector, once they get the information, then Mark Spector goes and takes them out. And I like that dynamic. I like the exploration of his. They talk a lot about his dissociative identity disorder here in this
Right.
one. So I like that they explored that part of it, because till now they didn't mention it. That was for a reason, I think. So yeah, so I will continue it. I think it's one of those. It's one of the very strong Moon Knight runs,
Mm-hmm.
compared to what came before. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I want to see where it goes. And yeah,
Me
you
too.
get Moon Knight, every 2 weeks. So what's not to like?
I also enjoy the whole complaint. Mark Spector is like, yeah, I'm the one who do all the fighting. So when they're not around, Grant and Lockley's not around. When I'm getting my face punched in, they're not the one that's spitting out blood and feel the pain. I was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Absolutely. I have to be the one who has to take the punches.
Yeah,
And then Stephen Grant goes and has a fancy haircut.
yeah.
That was pretty cool.
And drinking he's like 16-year-old whiskey.
Absolutely.
I
So
thought it was really good.
yeah, it's a fun book. So good read.
All right, we are done with Marvel.
No, actually, I have one last Marvel book.
Oh, you do? Okay, what do you got?
The Punisher issue 6.
Punisher issue 6. Looks like he's about to fight Ares, the God of War.
Absolutely. So this is like again a conclusion from another Punisher arc. So Punisher is with the hand. He's like the fist of the hand or something. And then
Right,
he's the main guy, and he's fighting Ares, because Ares believes that he was a creature of war, but then he
right,
changed sides and he went to the hand. And so there's a big confrontation. There's a big fight between the two, which is pretty bombastic. Frank uses all these like different weapons and all. And I liked it the way how it ends. And of course, in the last panel, they have a hook for the next arc. And some people already predicted what that arc is and what that hook is going to be. But I'm not going to spoil it. But yeah,
oh, boo.
I'm not going to spoil it, I said. So, anywho, but this is a good issue. I mean, Jason Aaron is doing a PG-13 Punisher. I liked his Punisher. I want him to do more Punisher Max. But I like that this is going. It's not like 100% like hook, line, and sinker for me, but I'm
Right,
enjoying what I'm reading. It's not boring for me yet.
right.
I want to see what happens with Frank's family, whom they're trying to resurrect. His wife is already resurrected. So I'm interested in what happens there to that dynamic, and how he like breaks free from the hand. That's what I'm interested to, find out. So
Cool.
good book by Jason Aaron. So yeah. So total recommendation.
Well, now we're done with Marvel. Let's move on to the next big publisher, DC Comics. I know Lohit's a DC guy, so he probably read more DC books than I have.
Can we do one image book, because I have only one image
Oh,
book?
sure. Well, I have a one image book too. We'll go to image and we'll do DC afterwards.
Okay.
All right, Lohit.
My image book is Metal Society issue 5.
Issue 5 already. Wow.
Yeah, so this is the last issue of this Metal Society run. So so it's basically, as you see on the cover, it's the human girl versus the robot, in a final battle. And they show the fight. It's fight night. She's fighting for humanity, and he's representing the robot nation and all. And there were only like 3 or 4 possibilities this could have ended in,
Yeah.
and it did. In one of those possibilities, it still feels pretty good. It's like feels fulfilling. The ending kind of lands. So
Sure.
it's a good story, great artwork. Zach Kaplan, who's the writer, I think, of this. I think the trade will drop pretty soon. It's a super fast read, I guess. Not too much exposition, but then the story has gravitas. You feel the plight of the female protagonist who has to represent humanity in this world dominated by robots and all. And so it's a good book, I would say. It's one of those image trade paperback reads which you read, and you enjoy and you forget. It's one of those
Yeah.
things. So
Cool.
I kind of liked it. Pretty good book. So total recommendation for me.
Like I said, Lohit fully recommend this book.
Yep.
I also have a image book. This is the final issue of the series as well. It's Twig number 5. It's written by Scotty Young and art by Kyle Strahan. This is the final issue where our main character Twig, he has to finish save the planet by refill the special gem. And you know what, Lohit, I think this is my pick of the week. I'm gonna just go say it right now. This is my pick of the week.
Wow.
It's a fun adventure of a young man trying to fulfill a mission and try to be a good person about it. Last issue they featured he's supposed to collect horn from this horn beast, right? And of course, in order to do that, he has to kill that creature. But then when he's talking, he's like, oh, he's like, okay, he's like, oh, I'm here to kill you. He's like, okay. He's like, no problem. He's like, but just remember, he's like, I don't mind that. You're really nice about it. Not trying to hunt me down like the hunters do. But I am the last of my kind. Then he's gonna go through it with it. Then they become friends. You know what I mean? So this is a character that's really likable. And this is the final issue. See if he can, trying to complete his quest and save the world. And of course he does it, and then he tries to do it the most honorable way as possible because he's still very young. And his father, who was the previous, I think it was like there's like a delivery person. And he's, of course, the early issue he screws up. He has to do this quest, and I think the art is really, really nice by Kyle
I have heard nothing but good things about Twig. Like it's a good book for kids, good book for adults, good book for teenagers.
It's a great story for for readers of all ages. Which is why I like it so much, is because like you don't have to, even like someone who's old like me can still appreciate like a genuine, like a wholesome story about like a quest, by this person who's trying to do the right thing,
right,
and doesn't sacrifice his morals, which I think is wonderful.
Okay, I didn't pick up because I thought it would be too juvenile, but
yeah,
I'm hearing good things. So trade paperback will be there in another 2 to 3 weeks or something. So maybe I'll pick up the trade.
Yeah, I mean, Scotty Young, I said once, I said 100 times. But most people think of him as the cover artist who does all these, the baby covers for Marvel, right?
Yeah.
But it's like he's actually a very good writer. I mean, I read, his Strange Academy. We read I Hate Fairy Tale Land together.
Yeah,
right.
That's true. Also, The Me Who You Love in the Dark. Remember that?
So that's a solid horror story too. Like I said, so far I liked everything he's written. And then Twig, pick of the week.
There you go. That's the pick of the week.
All right, let's go to the House of Mystery, DC Comics. And of course, the first book, Batman. Batman 127.
Chip Zdarsky's Batman is, what's not to like about this book? Everything is.
That's right. Awesome. It's written by Chip Zdarsky, art by Jorge Jimenez, and a backup story also written by Chip Zdarsky, and art by Belen Ortega.
Which is also quite good. So
yes. You know what? It's rare that you find a book that you enjoy both the regular story and the backup story, and this is, I think, is both. I like the what do you call it? The regular story and the backup story. Chip Zdarsky is a very good writer, and he shows here in for both stories.
Absolutely.
I especially enjoy the little plot twist for the backstory for the Air Penguin.
Absolutely. So basically this book deals with the fact that there's a fail-safe robot which is trying to kill Batman. That's the story of it. Why the fail-safe was activated. Who created fail-safe? All those questions are answered in this issue. So, and at the same time, there are a lot of Easter eggs which you get as a reward if you've been a long time DC reader.
Right.
So
Well, let me cut you off here. I think that's one thing Zdarsky did well is that they connect this to the Markways Justice League Tower of Babel story, right? Which is wonderful because when a good writer could do that, it's like go back in the history of comics and make the connect two stories that makes sense. Which is a complete opposite. Again, I hated I don't even hate on Tom King because that did not work for that Riddler story, that One Bad Day Riddler story, try to connect that with the Killing Joke. Just a personal opinion.
I have that book signed by Tom King. I haven't read it yet. I will read
Hey,
it.
you got it for free, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't buy it.
Now they're all the free comic book, all right? So good.
Yeah, but this one, I mean, yeah. So like it, I think so. There are a couple of things. One is, of course, the Tower of Babel connect. The second one is also that if you've read the Grant Morrison Batman Rest in Peace, that has Batman of Zur and R. So which is basically a Batman without the Bruce Wayne persona, only focusing on Batman.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there are a lot of those tidbits which come in. And for long-time Batman readers, they will definitely appreciate it. Even if you are new, it gives you something to go back to and read because Batman Peace RIP was amazing. Tower of Babel, I mean, that was one of my favorite Justice League books of all time. Mark Waid is amazing. I mean, Mark Waid is a veteran. He's amazing. So, he knows everything. So he can't do no wrong, according to me. So, yeah. So this is a great book. If you've not been jumping on the Batman Chip Zdarsky bandwagon, I think this is the third issue. So it's easier to jump in for people. So just 3 issues in. So, but yeah, this is off to a great start.
Yeah, DC, DC, one thing they can do because they'll put really good creators on Batman. But we had Zdarsky before that. We had Williamson before that. We had Tiny. So they know that's where their bread is butter, and
Absolutely.
All right, that's the only DC book I got. What do you have?
DC, I have a couple of more DC books for sure.
What do DC got, my friend?
Oh yeah, I have Dark Crisis Part 4. I know you're not reading Dark Crisis, but this is a good book, so it can
okay.
I like it. I mean, I know you have your complaints, but again, so this is not the best Crisis. I would say 100% agree with you on that. And
but it's better than Hero in Crisis, right?
Better than Heroes in Crisis, better than Heroes Reborn and all of that stuff from DC and Marvel. But then yeah, I mean, the thing is that here the Justice League, there are multiple parallel storylines which are happening here. So there is the basic concept is that the Pariah from Crisis on Infinite Earths, he has basically taken all these members of Justice League and he's put them in these dreamlike worlds and he's taking power from them. And his goal is to destroy Earth Prime and begin the universe anew, completely from scratch. This omniverse which exists, he wants to kill it all. So here, Barry Allen is trying to find all these guys, all the other members of the Justice League. He finds Hal Jordan, and then they go for looking for Batman. So that's one plot line which is going on in the parallel. Then on Earth Prime, that is our main Earth, Nightwing and team basically are trying to trying to defend the world along with John Kent Superman and the Justice Society of America. Alan Scott and his gang have joined them to help them out. So that's second plot thread which is going on. The third one is basically the Injustice League, the Legion of Doom. So Lex Luthor, so Black Adam has gone to Lex Luthor asking him for help because Deathstroke and his Dark Army, who have been possessed by pariahs, who are under control of Pariah, are trying to take everything down. So there's a big confrontation between those two groups. So that's like the third plot line. So a lot of things are going on in parallel. So we're still on issue 4. So I hope that it all boils down together. I have faith in Joshua Williamson. I mean, he's written pretty good stuff in the past. So let's hope he can connect everything, all of this, what is happening. But again, although by the time I was in Infinite Crisis issue 4, I was feeling the stakes. I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? I had my, my heart was thumping. That feeling is not there here yet. So, so I'll agree with you. Like, it's not but again, it's not boring. It's still,
Well, I mean, Daniel Sanford is a very good artist. So one thing you get looking forward is
perhaps.
Sanford's art is good. But let me put some, while you're talking about this, right? Let me just put my criticism out there. You talk about like the Perez using the Justice League's Dream State to power him, whatever that works. So which basically just meant that Justice League 75, Death of Justice League, is completely pointless. Basically, that was like you're like, okay, they made a big event out of nothing. Absolutely. That is basically telling your fans like, when there's a big event, which it doesn't really matter because 3-4 months down the line, it just proved this is the whole thing. It's just irrelevant. That I have a big issue with. You know what I mean? Because they made like it's like you're just trying to make something out of nothing, and then you do like then you try to cash in on it with like the 25 different covers and stuff like that. It's total cash grab.
The one
there's no
good thing about this book is I don't think it has any tie-ins.
What do you mean?
I don't think so. I haven't seen any Dark Crisis except for
Justice League 75. The other Justice League is what led into Dark Crisis.
No, but after Dark Crisis started, I have not read any of the tie-ins, and I'm pretty much okay.
I heard outside Flash, the Flash.
Flash is the only book which you must read, but other than that, I think I'm pretty much okay. Like, I figured out what's going on.
Yeah. I heard they're really bad, especially the Young Justice one. It's like one bottom barrel bad. So poor Dan who actually bought that stuff.
Wow. I mean, I like the only time I liked Young Justice was in the cartoon, the season. That was pretty good. But I've never liked them in the comics or something, So I would say the same way for Young Avengers also. Like Young Avengers team also, I like the first issue, like the Alan Heinberg one, which he wrote and he created. But those 12 issues after that, I never liked them at all.
I actually never read anything after those 12 issues.
So exactly. Okay. So I think that was Young Avengers and Young Justice teams, they have they live in their own corner. Where there's not too much impressive stuff content there. I will definitely continue with this because I need to find out how this ends.
Of course. You already 4 issues into. Might as well. There's only 2 issues left. Might as well finish. Yeah.
Might as well finish it out, and so yeah.
Right. All right. What else you got?
Flashpoint Beyond.
Oh boy, I got things to talk about this one. All right, go ahead. You go first. Describe the book, and I'll.
Yeah, so this book is again, it takes place in the Flashpoint universe. So what is happening is basically suddenly Thomas Wayne has awoken and found out that his Flashpoint universe exists. And he's trying to figure out how does it exist, because Barry Allen did all of his stuff in Flashpoint, the original book, and then that universe was cut down. So how does it exist? So he's trying to figure that out. So that is the main plot. So, with Thomas Wayne, at the same time, he's the owner of the Wayne Casino, and, his Alfred is Oswald Cobblepot. So, and his wife is, I don't know if it's a spoiler or not. It was there in the original Flashpoint, but his wife, Martha, is the Joker. And she's trying to find out this Clockwork Killer, who's basically, who kills people. That was like a mass murderer, a serial killer. He's trying to uncover the identity of the Clockwork Killer. So that's what is going on. He's trying to figure out how does this universe exist. Meanwhile, in our regular continuity, our Bruce Wayne, our Batman, he is trying to also, he's trying to figure out that he feels that something is wrong in the time stream, and he's connecting with the Time Lords, which is basically Rip Hunter and his gang, and trying to figure out what's going on. And he's also trying to do his own investigation parallelly by himself. Now this is written by Jeff Johns, who's like a veteran in DC, so as a great, so story wise, it should be good, but apparently it's co-written by Tim Sheridan and Jeremy Adams. So
Jeremy Adams is a good writer. He writes The Flash and does a good job on it. Tim Sheridan is not very good at all.
Yeah, so I don't know who wrote what, because they don't tell you that. It's just writers, Jeff Johns and all.
I think it's just Jeff Johns has a basic concept story, and then Sheridan and Adams, just that should do the actual final finish for it.
So I was into the previous issues because there's a mystery. I don't know what's going on, and Batman is figuring out, both the Batman, Thomas Wayne, and the Bruce Wayne Batman, they're trying to figure out in their own time frames. And I thought that they will meet up and cross over or something. I don't think that's the direction in which this went. And
Okay.
another thing is this book like starts off with this explanation of omniverse and hypertime. So
Yeah,
space
I
and
heard
time.
that's really badly poorly.
So I don't know, and they say that okay. So so you have omniverses. So
Yeah,
first of all, in DC universe now, everybody after the Dark Crisis death metal event happened. The
yeah,
death. Everybody knows about the omniverse. So a common
okay,
man like you and me, we are aware of the omniverse, what it's all
sure,
about, right? So there's a news show on which
yeah,
Mr. Terrific and one member of the Rip Hunters, I think her name is Baxter, Betty Baxter or something, and she's
okay,
like a member of the Time Masters. So she and Mr. Terrific, they are on this news show, and they're talking about hypertime and the omniverse. And this lady explains that hypertime is something, there are multiple parallel timelines too,
right,
exist. If you have multiple omniverses, multiple which space, so you occupy space and then you have time. So so there are multiple timelines also, and she says that in different timelines there are other things. So probably in one of the universe, in one of the timelines, Batman did something good, but in the other timeline he must have been an asshole or something. So that's what they try to portray. There's a lot of exposition there. I didn't know what it had to do with the main book or the main story with Thomas Wayne. I
right.
no connection there, but it was just thrown in. So initially it felt so wordy, and Jeff Johns books are not usually that wordy. I mean, it just kicks into high gear and all. I did enjoy the reading about the hypertime and everything, the metaverse and the multiverse and everything. But
Right.
I don't know. At the same time, there are like strange things in this book that happen. They reveal the identity of the Joker. So they give
Yeah,
him
I have a major issue with that thing. Well, I heard about this. I was like, why would you do that? This is one thing. It's like this is one of the things that you should always keep hidden because like they had like what like 4 or 5 different origins of a Joker and they're all accepted, right? And other
absolutely,
people are fine with that. But like, well, there's no reason to reveal Joker's real name. What
absolutely,
is the point of this? You
absolutely.
know?
So yeah, so I was a little bit lost.
Yeah.
So if you remove that Joker aspect and these first 2 pages, I really like the book because of what Thomas Wayne does, how he figures out the Clockwork Killer. He's with Harvey Dent's ex-wife Gilda Dent and all. That part works independently, but I don't know why these additional pages needed to be added, and what is
Right.
the connection of those things to the main story. I don't know.
Right.
I have no idea.
Well, I gotta say one thing and another thing that we'll go back to Dark Crisis too, because this part of the storyline takes place after Dark Crisis, right? Where all the heroes has won. I was like, dude, we know the hero's gonna win, but really reveal it 2 months
Yeah, that
beforehand?
was also a little bit like, oh, we welcome Justice League back on our Earth. I was like,
Yeah,
wait,
like, dude,
wait
because
a minute, that hasn't happened yet, or has it, or did I miss something? So
no,
then it turns out I
because
did.
the whole hyper time thing, this takes place, that part of the story takes place after Dark Crisis. But you're like, dude, we're still in the middle of Dark Crisis. Why
How
are
could
you
you
doing this?
like? I mean, I don't know who was the editorial and who
Yeah,
was doing it.
exactly. I think DC editorials are even worse than Marvel sometimes.
Absolutely,
A lot of times.
absolutely.
Except the Batman.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, the only editor at DC I know is Ben Abernathy, who basically does the Batman books, and he's pretty much good with tonally consistency, ensuring content and ensuring past events are good. I
Well,
don't know
that's
who was
a
the
golden
editor for
goose. So,
this. I don't
I
know.
mean, that's a golden goose. They have to put someone competent, not to screw it up. This is not like what the Marvel does with their the X-Men editors. What's in
Absolutely.
Jordan White? Oh,
I have
trash.
no clue. So yeah. So although I did have enjoyment in this book,
Yeah,
all those bombs that were dropped on me, I was like,
yeah.
what am I supposed to feel about this? So I was like, I was not. I don't know. I mean, it was just
This
confusing.
is too bad because I like Jeff Johns. I actually read issue 1, and I
Yeah.
really liked issue 1.
Yeah. So
And
that's
so
what I said.
I
That's what I said.
pre-ordered the trade paperback for this book already. So
Okay.
I was like, oh, cool! I can't wait to read this. Now I'm like, oh, well, I don't know
Because it
about this.
started off pretty well. It started off like a
Yeah,
Jeff Johns book, like Thomas Wayne finding out, oh my God, why is the Flashpoint universe back? And
yeah,
then he goes to Aquaman. They do Wonder Woman. They do everything. They do everything by the book. The
right,
Superman, who's like they're the thin Superman from Flashpoint, he's back. So all of the previous issues I enjoyed. I
right.
don't know what happened in this issue, and I don't know. Is it Tim Sheridan? Is it Jeremy Adams? Is
It's
it
always
Jimmy
Sheridan
Wong? I don't know. So
because Sheridan is the only bad writer out of the three.
yeah. So of course, look, like again, I'm already 5 issues in. and I do want to
I
find
got
out.
one issue to go anyways. So let's see how they finish it.
Absolutely.
All right. What else you got?
I wanted to buy this Poison Ivy because of the cover.
No. Don't buy this one.
Okay.
That Sozamaki cover is coming on the 27th. DC pushed it back. Buy that one.
Oh, okay. Then I'll wait. I like Jenny Frison. So Jenny Frison cover is also cool. But I like the one which you sent me. That's the better one.
Yeah. And I don't know why they didn't release all that at the same time, but yeah, apparently that one's got pushed back 2 weeks.
Absolutely. I also wanted to read the Sword of Azrael book.
I heard it's good.
Yeah.
I heard it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I've heard that too. Like there are like 3 issues. One is from Batman Urban Legends, and then connecting that to like Sword of Azrael. But then I didn't buy it because you told me not to.
Well, buy the trade. It's better that way.
I will buy the trade. So yeah. So instead, what I did is I was trying to figure out Alien, but because I couldn't find it, so I got this one, the New Champion of Shazam issue 2. I've read issue 1. So this is about Mary Marvel. It's like one of those lighter reads. So like the Shazam movie. So in this one, like Billy Batson, he's on the Rock of Eternity. And he can't come back, and he's given his powers to Mary Marvel. So the Shazam family are still there, but they don't have the power of Shazam. Only Mary Marvel is the chosen one, and she's going to college, and and she has the power of Shazam. So it's her dealing with her college life, and her parents go missing. So and then she has to come back from college and then figure out like what's wrong with the parents and all. And meanwhile, there's this giant dragon which comes in, and she has to fight that. So it's basically about Mary Marvel and exploring her character and how she balances her life because the parents are gone, so she has to take care of all her siblings. Because she's the senior most eldermost daughter there. And she's of age. She's the only adult there. So
she's the oldest in charge. I get it.
Absolutely. So it's a good book. I mean, it doesn't. I've never read anything by Josie Campbell before, but yeah, I mean, it's like one of those lighter, feel good kind of reads. That Mary Marvel. I mean, she's basically struggling with life, and it's a pretty fun book when she turns into Mary Marvel and uses the word Shazam and all. Those moments are always nice, to see. So it's a very pretty lighty kind of book.
Okay. All right. What else you got for DC?
I have nothing. That's basically
all right. You got any Dynamite books that you want to talk about?
I wanted to read this Invincible Red Sonja and the John Carter of Mars, but I think I missed these books. I thought that the only Dynamite book was this thing called Ninjets, but I didn't want to read that. Of course, I wanted to read the Invincible Red Sonja. I like this book. But I think I missed on it, so I have to read it again. So maybe when I go buy Alien or something, then I'll probably pick this up too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that you don't have any Dynamite book this week, man. That's very
because I didn't know. I would have definitely read the Red Sonja book because why would I not? So
why would you not? You're the Dynamite guy.
I am a Red Sonja guy before Dynamite guy, so that's why I'm.
Well, hopefully, Lohit, when he goes to this comic store and gets some Red Sonja, I'd be happy for the weekend.
Absolutely, man.
You got any other indie books?
No. I just had Metal Society. That was the only indie book which I had.
Well, right. I have one. It's from the publisher Ablaze. It's called. Let's see. I'll wait until you scroll down. It should be there soon. Keep going.
Oh wow.
It's a small publisher. What do you want me to say?
It's coming.
There it is. There we go. Scroll down a little bit more. Okay, that's fine. The Boogeyman by Blaze Comics.
Matthew Salvia. Never heard of it.
And artist is Deject. I'm not sure if this is originally a European comic because I know Blaze reprints a lot of European comics. This is a very good horror book. It's about this child. This is talking about his past, where his house was attacked by this guy who was being under influence of this old witch. But the interesting part is that this character, that's the boogeyman living in his house, right? So that's why the kid is so interested in boogeyman. And it turned out the boogeyman doesn't really mean the kid any harm.
Yeah.
So when his parents were killed by the guy who's under the influence of the witch, he steps out trying to protect the kid.
Okay.
So, which is very interesting. Usually, you read a typical boogeyman stories about, this kid. He lives
Being
in
haunted by the
in a
boogeyman and
scary house.
all.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Haunted, and the boogeyman scares him. Blah
Yeah.
blah. Happen. This is actually apparently there's like a war between like these two rival supernatural clans, and like the witches clan apparently has killed off like a huge population of the boogeyman. So
Okay.
so basically they want to kill off our main character as well. And the main character originally didn't want to get involved, and for some reason his morality kicked in and tried to save the kid, which caused the whole situation.
Oh, wow. Sounds
Yeah,
interesting.
it's a good book. I mean, I really, if you like, it's a good horror book. It's a very what do you call it? It's a very catchy first issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
imagine. Blaze has some good horror books.
Yeah. I mean, I've been reading a few more Blaze comics these days, and I think I'm definitely going to enjoy reading the whole back issue how the two clans became warring. You know what I mean? Also, how this child dealing with his own trauma of seeing his parents being killed
Uh-huh.
and being saved by this the boogeyman that's been haunting his house for so long, because the kid's actually really interested in boogeyman. So like the one early on is that his father catches him reading a book about boogeyman that he checked out from the library, and his parents would be talking like his mom and dad's talking like, yo, the kid's reading another book about boogeymans. We got to do something about this. And mom's like, oh, is it about the guy who's the dog, which is there's a dog in this. This is like a boogeyman has like a pet dog in this one. It's like about a dog or the guy that's in the walls or something. He's that's like, don't joke about that, man. The kids have maybe some real mental issues.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah. But apparently, since the parents have been talking about it, apparently, it means that this kid's has this kind of experience for a pretty long time now.
Okay.
Yeah.
The horror book I really want to read?
Yeah.
Town Called Terror. Steve Niles. Ever heard of that?
No.
So Steve Niles is the guy who did like 30 Days of Night and all. You know that, right? So he did this. He wrote this. Is probably his like new image book. So it's called A Town Called Terror.
I heard it's solid.
This one. So I really wanted to read that because I've heard the artwork is pretty good and the story is pretty solid. It's like 6 issues in. So I'm sure there is a trade coming soon. So I've heard that. And Steve Niles is a good writer, a good horror writer too. So this is something I wanted to check out, Town Called Terror. So,
yeah, he's a good horror writer.
Yeah.
I really liked his The Remains, 30 Days and Nights, and Bigfoot.
Right.
I'm a big fan of Bigfoot.
Yep. So yeah, that's the horror book I want to check out. And other than that, I have this one too, which I haven't read, Bunny Mask. Bunny Mask is also like Paul Tobin horror, Aftershock, I guess. So yeah, I have that too. So I have to read those.
You're lucky the Bunny Mask is only like a 3-issue miniseries or 3 or 4 issue miniseries. It doesn't go crazy like the 6.
Which one? Bunny Mask?
Yeah.
They did a second series too called Bunny Mask Hollow Point or something. I think that's also there. So I need to check out those good horror books for sure.
Yeah.
And that would do it now. And that would do it. Just like my pick of the week probably would be, I think I enjoyed probably the Batman, Chip Zdarsky Batman.
Batman's good. Yeah, again, it's hard. Once again, I'll say this: it's hard to find a book that has a good main story and a good backup story, and that one does have it.
Absolutely.
And also, Phil Jimenez, you can't go wrong with his. Not Phil.
Jorge Jimenez.
I'm sorry.
But Phil Jimenez is pretty good too. Phil Jimenez did.
Phil Jimenez draws like a lot like the late George Perez.
Yep.
So yeah. Also the backup artist too. What's her name? Ortega, whatever, right?
Yeah, Ryan Ortega or something. Yeah. Something Ortega.
So anyways, that's the books that we bought. We want to know that what books did you buy, and did you share the same opinions of books that we bought? We'd like to know. Leave a comment below, and Lohit will respond and give you the thumbs up. I will make fun of you, and because I'm a jerk.
Which is also good sometimes. You need that in your life.
Yes.
So,
and Neil will say something about Spider-Man and Steve Ditko.
Steve Ditko.
Whatever.
You can always count on the Neil, man.
Sorry, Neil. We all know Stan Lee is the real creator. Oh,
burn. Neil is gonna be after your life. Good.
Uh,
Thank you for watching, guys, and hope you like and share and subscribe. And
we'll be back next week, probably, right? I have like 5 books next week.
I will have 10 something probably. If I include Dynamite, then always goes to 10.
All right, right, right. All right. Also, hold on before I go. I did pick this. I did pick this up. It's the Frank Miller Ashcan edition book that came out like 2 weeks ago. It
So
has
what is this? What is an Ashcan edition for those who don't know?
it's like a sneak preview. It's in black and white. It has like 3, 4 pages or 5 pages of what's to come. Actually, this is in color. Well, I haven't even read this yet. This is Frank Miller's new imprint. It is it has second part of Ronin, which is a very good story, and then this new series called Ancient Enemies.
Wow. I've read the first Ronin.
Yeah,
I
it's really
like it. I bought it again recently just to do a reread because I read it like ages ago, and I like the science fiction, the futuristic samurai,
Right.
So yeah, I'm interested in Ronin too, for sure.
Yeah, Ronin 2 is going to be the follow up to it. Yep. Unfortunately, this really expensive. I'm doing pre-order for it. Comes out in November, and both book Ancient Enemies and Ronin will be $8 books. It's like freaking bad idea prices. Thank God that.
But does it finish the story in one issue, or does it?
I don't know, but both books are going to be $8. If there's only one shots, I mean that's okay, but it's going to be like ongoing. That's going to be ridiculous. Or the miniseries, that's expensive. But at least the DCBS has both books for half off cover, so it'll be like what $4 a piece, which is fine. But anyways, so we'll get to that. We'll get to that when we get to it. So anyways, that's it. Have a good weekend, everybody. To be continued next week.
Peace out, people.